Daniel chapter number 3, and I want to deal with all of that chapter, but there's a few verses that I want to read, starting at verse 15. It says, "Now if ye be ready, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if you worship not, you shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. And he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not," tell your neighbor, say, "but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, now worship the golden image which thou hast set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and his facial expression was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. I want to talk just for a little while today about living in the fire. Living in the fire. You may be seated. Living in the fire, and we talk about the rainbow, and we see the rainbow. God made a covenant with Moses that there would not say that there wouldn't be floods anymore, but just that there will not be a global flood. And so as we look here at this situation with these boys who decided that they was going to take back their rainbow, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when you are in a strange land, isn't it amazing when you're in a strange land and you can still stand your ground? Seem like sometimes being in America, it seems strange because it seems like we're in a place where there's no holds bars. Everything goes. As I was reading about some of the stuff for the rainbow, it even tells us that the gay and lesbian community has took on their flag is the colors of the rainbow. It's amazing how we can turn at some things and make what we think is wrong and make it seem right. But here they're faced with a trial. They're faced with a calamity, because you got to understand, in every life there must and will be some rain. In every life there will be some challenges. But these guys were bad enough, determined enough, that they were not going to allow, although the king threatened them, they were still determined that they would not bow down and compromise. When we talk about taking back the rainbow, we've got to learn to choose character sometime over comfort. Because a lot of times we like to be comfortable and we don't want to sometimes pay the price for God to really bless us. Many times we want the easy way out. Sometimes going the shortest way or the shortcut, we sometimes think that's the best way. You ever looked for the shortest route sometime? Sometimes the shortest route is not always the best route, because sometimes you got to go through the long route. So as you go through, God can refine you and he can get you to a place so that when you get through the route and when you get to the other side of the journey, not only what you have learned, but you can reminisce on what you've been through. And everybody in here has been through something at some point in time of their life. But I want you to know, just like these guys here, you can and you will make it. Listen here, something about the rainbow, it brings about a promise. And as we see here in our text, we see in the text, it says in verse 17, if it be so. Listen what they said about the promises of God. Our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from this situation. When was the last time you were going through a circumstance or a situation, you had a calamity that you were faced with, that you just declared and decreed that God is going to deliver you? See, many times when we're going through, the last thing we think about is God. I've been there. I've been there, because the first thing I want to think about is how, when they come against me, sometimes I think about how can I retaliate. But the scripture says, vengeance is mine. I will repay. But here these guys, calm, cool, and collected. Not disrespectful, not ugly. Stood before this king and said, listen, we refuse. We refuse to compromise. God has been too good to us. We know we're in a foreign land, and we know we're in a place where, listen, majority of the people are some from somewhere else, and here we are, the minority in here in Babylon, but we understand. But yet they refuse to bow down. Now, in this story, there are some things that the believers need to know, and I'm going to hit on those things in just a minute. But they are faced with a trial. They're going through a test. Have you ever had to face a trial? Have you ever had to face any calamity and you're trying to make it and seem like every time you take 2 steps forward, seem like some will set you back 5 steps, and then you take 3 more steps, and then you're back 8 steps. But I want you to know how you respond to your trial determines how soon you will come out of your trial. Scripture says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but my God had delivered them from them all. Scripture also says, the righteous cry, the Lord heareth them and delivers them from what? All. And so here in this story, there are a couple things that you got to know. The first thing you got to know is you must possess a if not mindset. Because in verse number 18 here, listen what they said. Not only did they say God was able to deliver them in verse 17, but in verse 18 they says, but if not, if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, now worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So simply what they were saying is, even if it don't come out the way we believe it is, If not, we still are not going to compromise and give the devil the victory. See, sometimes the test comes not necessarily to knock you down, but the test sometimes comes to really look at your character. Because when your back is against the wall, that's the time that you have to respond the best. But many times when our backs are against the wall and we're going through, we begin to complain. I don't have no complainers in here, do I? When it don't go your way, then you complain. When they don't see it your way, you complain. But here he